All right, live coverage now of severe weather here on the Georgia Weather Net. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. We do have a tornado warning in effect for Cook County, southwestern Berrien County, and east central Colquitt County until 2 o'clock. Doppler radar indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado about 8 miles southeast of Norman Park, 9 miles east of Moultrie, moving east at 45 miles per hour. In addition to the tornado threat, we do have the possibility of quarter-size hail and strong straight-line winds. So this is a dangerous storm. Will be near Adel and Sparks around 1:50, Nashville and Ray City around 2 o'clock. So Adel, you are in the warning polygon. You need to seek shelter right now, lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. And once again, this is going to be another tornado threat. We had a tornado that touched down about 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, EF3 tornado around Sparks and Adel that did quite a bit of damage. So I know folks in Cook County going to be taking this very seriously. And if you know anybody in that area or you are in that area, let them know they need to be in their tornado safe place right now, lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. And we're just making sure we have all of our radio partners online. We do. So we'll continue our coverage here. So the tornado warned storm is now moving into the western portion of Cook County as it continues to move toward Adel. It's near Ellington right now. As again, we have portions of Berrien County as well as Colquitt County, moving out of Colquitt County, now moving into Cook County from east to west, or from west to east, rather. So let's put this in motion so you can see this storm as it is moving into Cook County. So not a fast-moving storm, and that is not a good thing. That can help diminish our straight-line wind somewhat, but this will allow the storm a little bit more opportunity to spin up. And we are showing a very good inflow notch with this, where you can see that rotating arrow there just to the south of Ellington along Highway 37. So very clear inflow. This is probably one of the most well-defined supercells that I've seen so far today. We've been tracking the severe weather since about 2:30 this morning. And yeah, this is some very decent rotation here, just slightly south of Ellington, right on top of Highway 37. This is going to be just above Bull Creek, around Stanfield Road, over Poplar Branch, or the Poplar Head Branch Creek. And again, moving out of eastern Colquitt County, and we'll be moving into Cook County here very, very soon. So if you know anyone in this area, make sure that they seek shelter right away, lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. This is a very dangerous storm and probably the strongest rotation of any of the cells that we've been tracking all day and through the overnight hours as well. So this has been kind of building up some intensity. We saw a little broad rotation on this earlier, and then as it continued to move across Colquitt County, we saw it build up just more and more strength. And now with that well-defined inflow notch, that is certainly something that we need to take very seriously, because that is allowing plenty of fuel for this storm and allowing the storm to spin up. So this is going to be moving right toward Adel and Sparks, coming in on Highway 37. So that ends up turning into 4th Street in Adel. The Cook County Airport is just on the west side of Adel, the other side of I-75. So it's going to be in the airport area. And then also a very large storm here. So this is going to be spreading up into the Sparks town, the town and community of Sparks as well. So let me zoom out to give you the big picture in case you're just joining us. What we're looking at here is going to be in South Georgia. We do have a line of thunderstorms stretching on up through Statesboro, up around Clio and into South Carolina, but nothing severe with those storms. A decent-sized storm, a second cell that we've been tracking as well, that has been a significant storm, but not severe. That's continuing to move up into northern part of Berrien County. But that one's not a severe storm, but we're going to keep an eye on that one. Our main cell that we're looking at right now is continuing to move just to the south of Ellington, moving out of Colquitt County, moving into Cook County. So let's get some, let's see if we can get a timing on this here. This is probably going to be a little bit longer than 5.5 minutes or so. So, 6.5, 7 minutes from right now is when this storm will be over Adel, about the same amount of time up in Sparks. So there's still some time to seek shelter. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows, in a site-built home or structure. You can't be in a manufactured home, especially with a storm of this size. This is the Weather Service now letting us know that this storm is showing even a better chance now at the latest scan of rotation. And their timing is putting it in Sparks, Adel, in about 5 minutes. So we'll just say 5 to 7 minutes from right now is when the storm will be over Sparks and Adel. Going to be in the airport area in less time than that, about 4 minutes from right now. So now is the time to seek shelter and get in that lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. Again, this is going to be really traveling right along 37, heading toward 4th Street, west side of Adel, but stretching up to the north very easily in Sparks. This is very, very reminiscent of that tornado that dropped, again, about a month and a half ago that did the damage in Sparks and Adel. Came in from the west just like this. That's pretty typical for our weather pattern. But we saw the main center of rotation kind of moving right toward downtown Adel, but we saw most of the damage north of Adel. So this is just eerily similar to that last storm that did all the damage that brought up that EF3. Let's go ahead and take a look at the velocity and see how our rotation is. Yeah, still very strong rotation, somewhat broad, but very strong. And so we're talking about 4 miles east of Ellington now. So we're getting right in between Ellington and Adel, right on top of Highway 37. As this storm continues tracking to the east at 35 miles per hour. So getting near Giddens Pond. It's going to be near the Reed Bingham State Park. That's just north of the main center of rotation. And we see that number 5 popping up there, the pink. That is an indication of a mesocyclone. So this, without a doubt, is a rotating storm, and this is what it takes to get a tornado to spin up. And I'll tell you what, since we've got that up now, let's just take a look at our debris tracker. Not showing any debris at the moment. Okay, going to keep a close eye on that product. We'll go back and forth, and we'll look and see if we have any debris signature. Right now, that's not there. So more than likely, if you're looking at this storm, and I hope that you're not, if you're in Adel, I hope you're in your safe place. But anyone that is looking at this storm, probably seeing a wall cloud right now, probably seeing some rotation, and we could get this storm to drop a tornado any moment. We're not showing any signs of weakening right now, so let's just continue to monitor this storm. We're in South Georgia. Storm now moving out of Colquitt County, moving into Cook County. And again, near the Reed Bingham State Park, just cruising right down Highway 37. So anybody in Adel, Sparks, take cover right now. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. And then downstream, past Adel and Sparks, we have the tornado warning that extends really all the way through Cook County and then into Berrien County, including the city of Nashville. So you have some time to get in that tornado safe place. If you're in Nashville, I think it's going to pass just to the south of Nashville, but we'll, if it holds together, we'll continue between Nashville and Ray City along US 129. So just go ahead and be on standby in Nashville, certainly Ray City. North of Nashville, you're going to be experiencing some heavy straight line winds as well as the potential for hail. This is really a very defined inflow notch. You can see this area. Let me just put the highlighter on it. You see what I'm talking about here? This right here. See this kind of quiet spot? That's your inflow notch. So that's feeding the storm. That's helping it rotate. Emergency Management Office in Cook County. Actually, this is going to be out of Colquitt, letting us know that it is passing over Reed Bingham right now. The Weather Service also looking out for a debris signature on this. They don't see it yet. Well, let's just flip back to our product. We don't see it as well. So we're just just standing by here watching each sweep. The best thing you can do is just treat this like a tornado that's on the ground, even though we don't have confirmation of that yet. But this storm absolutely is capable of dropping a tornado. So it is critical. If you know anybody in Adel and Sparks, get them in their tornado safe place right now. And we're just so thankful that that tornado that passed there a few weeks ago, there were no fatalities, no injuries. There's quite a bit of damage, but everybody made it out of that one safe and sound. Unlike the last time there was a large tornado that went through Adel that claimed the lives of several people. And we just do not want that to happen today. So that's why we are putting the warning out there right now. And we're going to stick with this until the storm dissipates or this warning is dropped. But this is going to be remaining intact and probably going to be extended past 2 o'clock if this storm continues to hold this structure. So we have our tornado warning until 2 o'clock. We have a new sweep. Let's just go back to the debris tracker. And still not showing any debris being lofted. The Emergency Management Office indicating that they did spot, not sure if they spotted a funnel or a tornado. We're waiting to get some more clarification out of Colquitt County on that. But no signs of debris on radar. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It may not be lofted high enough up into the atmosphere. And also keep in mind, radar, even what the Weather Service uses, what the TV stations use, it's always going to be at least a minute behind. Sometimes can be several minutes behind until we can get the composite all put together. So that's why we're just always a little bit delayed. So when we give you the heads up, it's important to go ahead and take that precaution right now. So this is approaching I-75. As it continues moving east, 35 miles per hour. Strong winds through Sparks. You're going to be picking up a westerly, actually coming out of the southeast at this point. The storms are moving westerly, coming in from west to east. But right now with that inflow, getting a southeast wind kicking into that storm, and that is helping to get things spinning up. Let's go back to the velocity, see how the couplet looks. Yeah, there it is. That is a very, very strong rotating storm. And absolutely the strongest storm that we've seen so far today. And I've been tracking these storms since 2:30 this morning. And this one is the strongest one in terms of rotation, without a doubt. So Adel, it is knocking on your door, heading down 4th Street right now, over the airport, moving in toward town. And Sparks, the rain is about ready to start. You got that southeast wind kicking in, feeding the storm, and that is not a good place to be. This is just so close to where that last tornado was. This is unbelievable. Let me zoom out. If you are just joining us, we're in South Georgia. We're in Cook County. Right now, there's no indication that there's a tornado, so we don't have a visual confirmation. We're waiting to hear some words from the Colquitt County Emergency Management Office as to what they saw out around the state park. But as far as radar is concerned, we're not showing any confirmation of a tornado. If that happens, then this polygon will change from red to purple, and that will indicate a more severe situation. But as for right now, still not showing any debris signature. That's good. But wow, this thing is really classic storm that you just don't want to mess with. And our latest sweep here, it's now crossing I-75, beginning to push into Adel. Remember, Nashville, Ray City, especially between Nashville and Ray City along 129, you are absolutely under the gun, and that will be to you in about 10 to 15 minutes. So strongest winds of this storm now pushing out to the east. You can see this kind of bulge just below the inflow notch is moving into downtown Adel. So out the Walmart, out by the highway, that's where you're picking up the strongest winds right now. And then moving into downtown, and then pushing east along highway, that's going to be East 4th, Highway 37. there in Adel. Let's go back, just kind of looking at all the products here, just to make sure that we're not missing anything. We'll look at our debris signature. Doesn't look like we have anything that's standing out. I'm going to really watch. Yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on that. Yeah, still not showing anything. If we did, I think within the last couple of scans, we would start to see the sign of debris if we had anything on the ground. But look at this couplet. So what we're looking at here, the bright green that then rolls around to the darker greens. We have a little shade of red in there. So this is indicating a circulating storm. And it's pretty obvious that we have circulation on this just by looking at the actual reflectivity. We see the inflow notch at Sparks. We see kind of that rounded area going into Adel. So that's our first sign that we know this storm is well fed. And then we just confirm that by looking at our velocity tool. And this shows us the direction and the speed of the wind. So we have some wind coming from the radar and going away from the radar site. So that further confirms that this is a rotating storm, what we call a mesocyclone. And that's the first thing that we need in order to get a tornado to spin up. And so this has all the ingredients for a tornado. It does not necessarily mean it'll drop one, but it means that the ingredients are there. So we'll go back to our reflectivity. Adel getting that heavy rainfall now. East of Adel, East 4th, the wind is really kicking up out toward the intersection of 37 and 76. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that will be coming out here in just a moment. The tornado warning is going to remain in effect. And we're looking at the possibility of 70-mile-an-hour straight-line winds. Wow. So that can do just as much damage as a tornado. 70-mile-an-hour straight-line winds right now in Adel. And then moving certainly now east of town is where our wind threat is going to be moving to. No tornado debris signature at this time. Let's just get this through Adel. My goodness, what a big, nasty storm. All right, we do. Actually, this is going to be a new tornado warning that's going to be issued. And this is going to cover Berrien, Cook, Lanier, and Lowndes County. So let me zoom out and see if we have the polygon up on the screen. Okay, is this going to be, all right, so this is going to be further south. Tell you what, there it is. Okay, so just more toward the south. And not a surprise here. That storm has not lost any of its definition whatsoever. So new tornado warning is going to overlay our current warning and extend it a little bit more to the east-southeast. This covers southeastern Cook County, southeastern Berrien County, Lanier County, north-central Lowndes County until 2:45. That severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado over Adel, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Also the potential of ping-pong ball size hail. And as I mentioned, those straight-line winds, we had radar estimated 70-mile-an-hour straight-line winds over Adel. So that's going to continue to move in toward Ray City. If it holds together, we'll be moving toward Lakeland. And then we'll be kind of watching downline from there to see what happens next. And we have a new sweep, so let's just kind of scan all of the tornado-type tools that we have. Thankfully, no debris signature still. And let's take a look at our rotation. Still have that strong rotation, fairly broad, but very, very strong. This is a storm that's really whipping around pretty quickly, and it is right on top of Adel. Right on top of Adel. Where we would most likely see a tornado would be near the Highway 76 exit off of I-75 there going into Adel. All right, there's the new sweep. So moving across I-75, now moving south of town. But again, this is just eerily similar to the tornado that we had several weeks ago, where we saw most of the rotation just kind of moving right over downtown Adel. But then we had a tornado drop, EF3, in Sparks, and then it continued across Sparks into a subdivision. It's actually right here. Let me show you right in here. That's where that tornado dropped, and that's technically in the city limits of Adel, but within this box is where the tornado dropped last time. with the main circulating portion of the storm to the south. So just a very similar situation, but not showing the debris signature right now. Large hail, as I mentioned, possible with this storm. And let's zoom out, go big picture here again. If you're just joining us, just want to kind of let you know what part of the state we're concentrating on. I-75, Cook County, also now beginning to show a threat into Berrien County, as well as northern Lowndes County. So mainly west of I-75, you're going to be in the clear. This is now passing over 75, passing through Adel, which sits just east of the interstate. So even though our previous warning, which is going to expire in 1 minute, that's going to go away. So you're in the clear back in Ellington and in eastern Colquitt County. But now our main threat is going to be through eastern Cook County and then beginning to head into Berrien County. And as I mentioned, the extreme northern piece, it doesn't even cover Hahira, but the northeast section of Lowndes County. Obviously, Valdosta, you're not in there. You're going to be well south of this. May not even rain in Valdosta, but it is certainly going to be raining in Nashville. That wind is going to start picking up. And then we're just looking at an incredibly strong wind field now southeast of Adel. Going to be down probably about 6 or 7 miles southeast of Adel is where we're looking at that strongest wind field, now approaching the Cook-Berrien County line. That's Highway 37, Bear Creek area in eastern Cook County and western Berrien County, eastern Cook, western Berrien. So that inflow notch continues to be prevalent. We have a new sweep. Let's take a look at the debris tracker. And not showing anything at the moment. All right, just had to reset here just a moment. So no debris signature showing up on radar. But very powerful supercell with all the characteristics of a storm that is capable of producing a tornado. So we do have this tornado warning that actually this is a new one now, so it remains in effect for Adel, eastern Cook County, but extended into Berrien and extreme northeast Lowndes County. So Nashville, looks like the center part of that rotation is going to move well to the south of you, but just be ready for the heavy rain that will be coming down. You're in what's called the forward flank downdraft of the storm up in Nashville. The main threat is going to be east of Adel, cruising down Highway 37. Got the golf course in eastern Cook County. It's going to be very, very near the golf club out there. And Forte Road, Register Road, moving in toward the Berrien Cook County line. And then Lakeland, and especially north of Lakeland, want you to really be prepared for this storm moving in. And this one is not one to ignore. Up around Big Creek, Ray City, need to be in your tornado safe place right now. And then above Banks Lake in Berrien County, be in your tornado safe place right now. Lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. Just going to call out some other locations in eastern Cook County. Again, around the Mud Creek area, that's going to be in line in the next less than 10 minutes around Mud Creek. And then let's see if we can put this track and see when we should be moving into Berrien County. Should be able to get this pulled up here. With the storm moving at 35 miles per hour, it gives us a little bit of lead time. All right, there we go. So should be moving into Berrien County in the next 12 minutes, just north of Lakeland. But Lakeland, I want you to be in your safe place, but should be moving just north of town in about 17 minutes from right now, and then moving toward the eastern edge of Berrien County in about 26 minutes. And if this storm holds together and holds this impressive structure, we could see this warning get extended into Clinch County possibly, and could make its way well, we'll just take one step at a time. But Clinch and Atkinson County, go ahead and just be on standby if this impressive storm continues to hold together and continues to move into your area. All right, so we've had a couple of new sweeps. Let's just go back and check out the debris, our debris tracker. Let's see here what we got. Okay, not showing any debris on our latest sweep. The worst of the storm has cleared I-75. Still going to be coming down in buckets in Adel. And that wind is just really, it should already be kicking up in Ray City. If it hasn't yet, it is coming very, very soon. So 60, 70 mile an hour wind gusts are very possible. Getting an update from some of our media partners that no damage reports coming in so far. So that's good. This storm absolutely 100% had everything that it needed to drop a tornado. So that's why you got to treat it just like it was one. And, you can't take these warnings and say, well, nothing happened, so I won't listen to the next one, because the next one could very well drop a tornado. And as folks in Adel and Sparks are very, very familiar with, it can happen very, very quickly, as it did just a few weeks ago. So that's why it's important to just look at this and know what it's capable of doing. And if it doesn't do anything at all, then that's great. You say thank you and be grateful for that. But at least we get the warning out there in case something does happen. Pretty strong rear flank downdraft on this storm across I-75. So still heavy rain. The worst of it, again, is moved east of the interstate, but still going to be a lot of rain. And with all that rain that came down so quickly, some ponding on the interstate is possible. So that's going to make travel a little bit trickier there for a few miles on I-75 from Cecil up past the Sparks exit, up past Walmart in that area. But Nashville now picking up some heavy rainfall, and that inflow notch continues to just be very, very persistent. We'll zoom in on it again. Just right there's what we're looking at. As long as that is present, this is going to be either a severe storm or tornado warned storm, because that right there is a real problem. That's what feeds the storm, allows it to continue to grow, as long as we have that favorable air being brought in. Now, as these storms continue to move toward the east, they're going to be moving into a less favorable environment for development. They're going to be moving into a little bit more stable air in southeast Georgia. So our severe weather threat is going to be reduced quite a bit as these storms move east. But as for right now, the instability is there. We have plenty of moisture in the atmosphere and warm temperatures. And we have that lift with this frontal system. Now, tomorrow is going to be another active weather day. Could be even more active than today, and mostly to the north of this area. So we're going to be watching out from Columbus over through Macon and even into the Augusta area. So just cutting right through the middle of the state tomorrow is going to be our main threat. And I'll tell you what, while we're waiting on scans, let me just pull up tomorrow's severe weather outlook, and I'll show you that area that we're talking about. So there you go. So, and yeah, that does, the level 2 risk actually does drop down into Albany as well. But you can see that swath just right through the center of the state. That's a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather for tomorrow. So things will get quiet this evening and overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning, not all that bad. Then as we move through the day tomorrow, things will start to fire up again as another line starts pushing in from Alabama. And then we'll have enough instability to get these storms going. So we'll be weather aware all day tomorrow. Follow our Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll continue to give you these updates right here on the Georgia Weather Net. So our tornado warning for Cook County, Berrien County, and the extreme northeast piece of Lowndes County remains in effect until 2:45. So we're going to keep our eye on this. That strong inflow notch. Let's go ahead and flip over and take a look at the velocity once again. Okay, still showing some rotation, but we're showing it broadening out quite a bit. So hail is going to be a big factor here. As a matter of fact, let's take a look if we have our severe hail. Yeah, there we go. We do have a couple spots there. Really between Adel and Ray City, and then starting to move into Nashville, the probability of severe hail. So that could be $half size, ping pong size hail, could be larger with that storm. Get a lot of that in that forward flank portion of the storm that's now cruising through Nashville. We may be seeing the inflow notch start to get cut off. And if that's the case, this storm will lose some intensity and will lose some of its ability to spin. So this last scan is starting to look a little bit more favorable for this storm to be losing some intensity. So let's see if we can get another scan or two to wind it down. As for right now, still showing the broad rotation, fairly strong, but broad rotation. I think our tornado threat is significantly lower now than it was as it crossed I-75 and Adel. All right, still no storm report, damage reports. That's good. The only thing that we heard of was in eastern Colquitt County near Ellington, the possibility of it could have been a tornado, could have just been straight line winds, but we're just waiting to hear a little bit more information from the emergency management office on that as to what they saw out there. But hail is going to be a big concern with this. Those straight line winds now kicking into Ray City could be upwards of 60 miles per hour. So just go ahead and be in your tornado safe place at your lowest level, most interior room, away from doors and windows. So this we'll be moving on toward Lakeland next, continuing in toward Berrien County. And just kind of scanning through our weather and media partners to see if we have any additional information to pass along. So everybody's just kind of watching this one and hoping it will continue to cycle down. But seeing that inflow notch begin to erode, that's a good sign. That's going to help us out quite a bit to get this storm to go away. So Lakeland is in Lanier County. So we need to make sure that folks there in Lanier County, you are in your tornado safe place. This covers most of Lanier County, pretty small county land wise. But Lakeland, the county seat, you're in the tornado warning polygon. Go ahead and be in your tornado safe place, away from doors and windows. And down into Banks Lake and above Banks Lake, all the way over to the Berrien Lanier County line. Ray City is near the county line. Go ahead and just remain in your safe place, but really going to be eyeballing north of Ray City and around the Big Creek area in Lanier County. That's where the brunt of this storm is going to be moving toward. Take a look at the debris tracker. Still no debris showing on radar. That's absolutely amazing because this storm was nothing to take lightly for sure. And looks like our rotation is starting to dissipate quite a bit, broaden out and weaken somewhat as well. Still looking at heavy rain, still looking at the hail potential, maybe 1 inch in diameter hail just south of Nashville along 129. So that some damaging hail. Adel, you're going to be in the clear now. You're on the backside of this storm. We'll see if the warning, I'm sure this warning is going to get updated here pretty soon. But Adel and Sparks and Cecil, you're going to be in the clear. We're just going to be watching the portion of the storm really between Ray City and Nashville right now. Continuing to move toward US 129 as it continues moving in toward Lanier County. So another 32 minutes for this tornado warning. Not sure if it's going to hold together that long, but it may be out of the warned area by then as well. But we're going to stick right here with you and follow it all the way through. Tell you what, let me zoom out and we'll just take a big picture. Maybe just joining us here on the Georgia Weather Net. Another little severe thunderstorm coming there out of southeast Alabama near Dothan. So that could be threatening portions of southwest Georgia. Could be heading into Early County, could be heading into Seminole County, probably Early County. So we'll watch that, and just a few storms popping up here and there as well. Got a little meso. Let's go up north here. This is going to be Schley County around Ellaville, and showing a storm that could be rotating a little bit. I'm not going to be able to get a good view of that with the velocity tool from this far out, but we're showing a little meso here in Schley County. So we'll watch that. That warning will come out of the Atlanta office if we get one. And if we do, I'll pass it along to you. But for right now, one active warning here in Georgia, and that's the big one. That's our tornado warning that remains in effect for portions of Berrien County, Lanier County. Technically, Cook County is in there, but the storm is pushing out of Cook County for the most part. The bulk of that is in Berrien County right now, centered between Nashville and Ray City. And that inflow notch still there, being pesky. You can see it right in here. That's that inflow notch continuing to feed the storm. And so I don't think this is going to get canceled anytime soon. Just got a report of 58-mile-an-hour wind gust east of Nashville. So no surprise there. It did look like a pretty strong wind field moving in, especially just south of Nashville, but we got a report east of Nashville, 58-mile-an-hour wind gust. Could have seen closer to 70 miles an hour south of Nashville, just based on what the radar was looking like. So that's indeed very strong, and I think that wind's going to be kicking up in Ray City as well. We see the storm just bulging out toward Ray City, so that's a good sign that we're going to be having some strong winds associated with this storm. Flip back over and take a look at our velocity. And look for any sort of rotation. Well, that's very broad. All right, so we'll see what happens here. Got 30 minutes to go on this warning. If this continues to broaden out, our tornado warning may get canceled early. But this storm is going to hold the attention of the Weather Service a little bit longer than the average storm, because it's just the impressive structure. And, you know, that's the thing. With weather, you don't know for sure. Is it all going to fall apart, or does it get reorganized? And if any meteorologist tells you they know the answer to that, then go the other direction, because they're just guessing. We still don't have any way to know if a storm is going to reorganize or if it's just going to fall apart altogether. Now, in the case that we have going on this afternoon, these storms are moving into a less unstable, or so a more stable environment with less instability. So most of our indicators are that these storms are going to fall apart. Once they start winding down, they're only going to get weaker. But again, there are exceptions to every single rule in radio and in weather and in radio, I guess, and announcing weather on the radio. So it could come back together again. We just have to wait and see. So I think the Weather Service is going to give this a few more scans before they make a decision, just based on how strong it was and the setup that it had as it moved across I-75 around Adel. So that inflow notch remains there. So here it is. So that's going to be one part of the storm that is going to be important when making a decision on what to do with the warning. And we'll take a look at our velocity. Yeah, that is really coming apart. So that may be all she wrote as far as the tornado portion of the storm is concerned. We've had several scans of it continuing to unwind. And this is probably going to be turned into a severe thunderstorm warning box here soon. So let's hang on. Fortunately, I don't have the responsibility to make that call. I don't want to have to do that. The Weather Service, they're the best in the business, and they make that determination. But the tornado risk is certainly much lower now than it was as it moved through Adel, Sparks, and then moved east of Adel along Highway 37. But we still have the hail threat. Let's go take a look at our severe hail tool once again. Here's our probability of severe hail. And has it all disappeared? All right. So that's gone away. Let's take a look at something else. Look at our VIL. Well, I know that it's there. So, yeah, we have the possibility of hail really going to be east of Nashville now and continuing to track off toward the east around 168. Possibility of some hail over Highway 125 as well in eastern Berrien County. Pull up the radar picture again. And this storm, yeah, this is really getting ragged. This is not the storm that it was about 10, 15 minutes ago. So I strongly doubt that we'll hold on to this tornado warning until 2:45, but it is what it is for right now. But Adel, you're still technically in the warning polygon, but you're in the clear. That storm has moved out. The worst of the storm has moved across 129. Nashville, you got the heavy rain, still going to be a little breezy, but no tornado threat. And Ray City, that storm is going to be up to your north and east right now. So our main, if we're going to have anything occur at all, really going to be talking about that corner of Berrien and Lanier County where it comes together around Big Creek, and then heading toward Cross Creek and moving in toward Highway 221, eventually north of Lakeland. So northeast of Lakeland is where this is going to continue to track toward. And probably going to see our severe thunderstorm warning extended into Clinch County, or we'll see it added and then push through the rest of Lanier County and on into Clinch County, possibly Atkinson County. But we'll stand by for that. Probably going to take a few minutes before we get that issued from the Weather Service. The time is 2:20. This is the Georgia Weather Net live coverage on Facebook, also our YouTube channel. We'd appreciate you subscribing to the YouTube channel. That's fairly new, but it gives us an opportunity to do some live feeds with a little bit more flexibility. And so we appreciate you subscribing to the YouTube and liking our Facebook page as well. So severe thunderstorm warning, as expected, has now been issued, but they're not going to push it into Atkinson or Clinch for now. So for now, it's just going to be Berrien, Cook, Lanier County until 3 o'clock. And we're probably going to see that tornado warning canceled early and basically replaced with this severe thunderstorm warning. But I'm going to wait for that. I'm not going to hold my breath. And I appreciate the kind of the mindset of this. You know, why cancel it too soon when you still have a few fundamentals there of a storm that could produce a tornado? You know, let's take care of business first. Let's get the severe thunderstorm warning out there, check everything else going on around the area. And then very last thing on the list would be to cancel anything. So I think that's kind of what's going on at the Weather Service office right now, is just an abundance of caution given this particular cell, and as menacing as it was, as ugly as it looked as it crossed I-75. So who knows? Maybe we'll be here until 2:45 talking about it. That's fine with me. If it's all right with you, we'll sit here and spend some time and chat together. But for right now, we technically still have the tornado warning for portions of Lanier County, Berrien County, and even parts of Cook County, even though Cook is completely in the clear. And then we have our severe thunderstorm warning now overlaid on top of that. That does cover the city of Nashville, Ray City, just above Lakeland. And so portions of Berrien, Cook, Lanier County until 3 o'clock. There is the possibility of a tornado within this severe thunderstorm warning, so they're kind of keeping that option out there. And not seeing any indication they're going to cancel the tornado warning anytime soon, but we'll hang right here with it. Let's take a look at our velocity tool just to see what kind of rotation we have. Yeah, this is very, very broad. I'm just not seeing any real threat of a tornado right now. This could tighten up again, could happen. So between now and 3 o'clock, you need to stay close. Also keep in mind we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect till 5 o'clock today. So still a few of these storms could go strong to severe as we move through the afternoon hours. And just looking at the debris tracker just to make sure we're not missing anything. No debris. That's good. So just a big, ugly thunderstorm here, producing hail, heavy wind, or heavy rain, strong winds, 60-mile-an-hour plus wind gusts are possible with this storm. Let's zoom out, take a look at the rest of the state. And, maybe watching storm here moving in from Houston County, Alabama, probably going to be moving in toward Early County. So this one will be one to watch. Maybe just a severe thunderstorm, but if we get any spin on that, again, that environment there in southwest Georgia is still pretty good for these storms to spin up and go severe, possibly drop a tornado. And we have a decent supercell storm here all by itself, moving through eastern Schley County around Ellaville and tracking into Macon County, not the city of Macon, but Macon County around Montezuma. That's going to be moving in that direction here over the next 20 or 30 minutes or so. But nothing severe on that one yet. Possibility of some hail. And looked like we had a little bit of spin on it earlier, but at this time, no warnings on it. So there you go. All right. We are connected directly with the National Weather Service office in Tallahassee, and they have not given us any indication that they're going to drop this tornado warning early, but we have another 20 minutes to go, and the threat of a tornado has dropped significantly. It's still possible, and that's why we have the severe thunderstorm warning. We have a new one now being issued. This is going to be, all right, so this is going to head into Clinch County. Let's see, okay, so yeah, this one's coming out of the Jacksonville office. So let's get connected up. That's the fun part about doing weather for South Georgia. You have 3 different weather service offices that deal with this part of the state. And so there you go. Just issued from the National Weather Service office in Jacksonville. Severe thunderstorm warning for Atkinson County, northwestern Ware County, northwestern Clinch County until 3 o'clock. Doppler radar indicating that severe thunderstorm about 8 miles north of Lakeland, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Possibility of ping-pong-size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. Remember, tornadoes are possible with this storm. Starting to get another little kink in the storm right here. Take a look at that. There's a little inflow notch coming back again. Now, the question is, do we have any spin on it? Let's zoom out a little bit and take a look at the velocity. And then we'll go back and talk about that severe thunderstorm warning again. But let's see what the spin is like. It's pretty broad, pretty weak. But you get that notch beginning to develop, you got to watch out. But again, these storms are starting to move into an environment just not as friendly for severe development. It's got more stability as you get going more toward the east. So hopefully that will keep our tornado risk down somewhat. But as far as our latest severe thunderstorm warning is concerned, out to the east here, this is going to be covering portions of Ware County and Clinch County, Atkinson County. This does include Homerville, Pearson, Argyle, Manor, Cogdell, Millwood, and Axon. You are in the severe thunderstorm warning polygon until 3 o'clock. And are they tagging this with tornado possible? They are not. Okay. That could change, but just keep in mind with any severe thunderstorm warning, there is that possibility of a tornado, but if it's a higher probability, they'll go ahead and tag it with the warning. With this particular warning, they're coming out of the Jacksonville office. They're not tagging tornado possible, but this storm certainly had all the potential of spinning up a tornado as it moved across Adel, and then that rotation began to broaden, and here we are. All right, tornado warning has been canceled early. As I mentioned, the folks at the Weather Service office put it last on their list to make sure that everything was covered before getting away with anything or not having something on the board when necessary. So our 2 severe thunderstorm warnings are still in effect, covering this strong thunderstorm, still considered a supercell, that is moving through Berrien County, now eastern Berrien County, beginning to move into northern Lanier County. And then we'll continue tracking toward the east. And the center of the storm really going to be riding the line of Atkinson and Clinch County. So probably should be passing through over 441 between Pearson and Homerville. Expect some decent rain up in the Pearson and expect some strong winds moving into Homerville, and especially the more north you go up 441. So those strong winds going to be pushing over 221 right now, and then we'll continue moving into Clinch County with 60-mile-an-hour plus winds are possible. So there you go. Tornado warning has been canceled. We just have our 2 severe thunderstorm warnings on the board in South Georgia. So we're going to go ahead and break away from our live coverage for right now and bring it back here if we have another tornado warning issued. Again, we're going to watch those storms also moving in from Alabama. There's a potential there as well. So Early County, Seminole County, just be on standby and be ready for this next cell that's going to be moving your direction. That's going to do it for now. We'll be back live, if necessary, right here on the Georgia Weather Network.